Good evening and salutations, my GH fans. Where's the loyalty? Where is the loyalty with Brooklyn and Olivia? They keep harping on Ned calling the SEC on Carly and Drew. And their basis is on the fact that that Ned threatened them before. But Ned even says, listen, this is what we do. We're quartermates. We'll sit there and threaten all the time. But at the end of the day, we're family. We're not going to sit there and turn each other in. But they just go on and on and on and on and on. And I'm like, Olivia, where's your faith at? Like, dead serious. Like, at some point. And they have, the thing that's really bad is that they actually have no proof. Other than a threat that happened, like, maybe about 2 months ago, that's all they're going on. And it's so stupid. And it gets to a point where, they get into the living room and Tracy's, whining about rich people stuff. And overhearing the conversation, Tracy's like, all right, good for you. And it's really sad. Ned does have a point. And then even Carly at some point is like, I shouldn't have did what I did. Drew told me not to do this. And I ignored him and I did what I wanted anyway. So, they're going back and forth in the living room. And of course, Olivia brings up Edward. And I'm like, I, I don't understand why she decided to do that for. I'm like, you didn't think that was going to strike a nerve or be offensive to Tracy to talk about her father like that? I get what they're trying to do. I think it's a valid effort as far as the whole. Oh, it's the cues. They're going at each other again. They're arguing again. But it's like, I don't know. Maybe that's how you did stuff back then, and I probably would have pointed out all the flaws in it. But now it just seems so stupid. It's just dumb. But there's one point where talking about Drew and, he came back and he's, a hero for what he did. And, Tracy's like, yeah, he's a hero, but I mean, the dude knew exactly what he was doing and he still did it anyway. So at the end of the day, it's really no one's fault except for, well, technically those three. If we're gonna be real, and Michael included. Now, Nina does ask Carly for her help. Like, listen, I was bad. I treated Willow badly. I messed up. And I need you to sit there and help me try to fix it. Now, Carly is, kind of hesitant about the whole thing. And before she's able to really, say yes or no, Drew comes back. Not that long right after, the SEC comes in there. And they're like, hey, we're going to take you down to the station. You can either do this the easy way, or we can sit there and get a subpoena, and we can just drag you in there. So, Drew, for some odd reason, decides to go with them without a lawyer, which I really don't understand. Sam wound up calling Diane. Diane came down there and she was like, she was able to sit there and get them back off. My whole thing is like, why are you talking to them without a lawyer? I didn't understand it. It's not like the dude doesn't actually have money for a lawyer. He could have been like, all right, yeah, you can schedule one in when I get my lawyer. Then you can sit there and talk to me all you want. But he just went down there because I understand he wanted to get it over with. But I'm like, lawyer. Like, some young 18-year-old that just doesn't really understand how the law works. So it didn't really make a lot of sense, but whatever. Diane came in there, and Diane, long story short, it's like, we got to uphill battle. It's not gonna be easy breezy. Now Diane was with Robert, and Robert wants to sit there and make sure that Diane was cool as far as like not, because they're on opposite sides as far as DA and lawyer and stuff like that, which I don't really understand how they can actually date. I feel like there's a huge conflict of interest. Maybe yeah, I feel like there's a conflict of interest, especially if they have to go up against each other. What are they going to sit there and do? They're just going to like constantly accuse each other or something? Like, I don't understand how that works. I mean, granted, I get it. It's a soap opera, and clearly laws don't apply, like HIPAA, and I'm just never going to get over that. But at this point, Diane's like, no, it's cool. And of course, he apologized to her for the whole Holly thing and thanks her for the whole, what was those damn people called? The WSB. So they're about to have some champagne and everything like that. And of course, Diane has to leave to take care of a client. So Robert pours out the glasses that he made. I was like, bro, you can just chug those. Listen, I like to see alcohol go to waste. Let's just be very clear about that. But of course, Holly comes in, and they start talking or whatever, and she kind of gives him the down low and everything that happened. And then she kisses Robert, and of course, Diane just happens to walk in during that time and sees the whole thing. And yeah, and myself, I'm like, this is a hard one because well, Diane has curves like there's no tomorrow. And of course, she's smart and everything like that too, and good person and everything. The girl got curves, right? Like Holly has that accent. Holly has that accent, so I'm just like, and she does look pretty good. She does look good, and she has that accent. So I'm just like, yeah, I don't really know. I mean, you can't really go wrong with either of them, so that's what makes it so much of a tough choice. Um, Sam didn't really do much in this episode. Dante really didn't do much in this episode either. So um, there's that. Lisa was upset, that the bureaucrats, as she called him, was not arresting him, but like taking him in for questioning. Willow gets prepped for surgery, and towards the end, it's a nice little moment of Michael and the kids, and I think Carly being there to support Willow. And of course, Nina was just kind of hanging out because, you know, well, she wasn't with them or whatever. Which, to be honest, she could have been there. I know that Carly probably wouldn't have wanted it, but at this point, that's not really important. I'm pretty sure Willow probably didn't want her there, so. Now, Nina was feeling guilty that Liesel was like, Drew doesn't deserve this, and he's saving lives. He brought back me to save Willow and stuff like that, and so the guilt is starting to get to Nina. Here's the thing about Nina. Nina isn't heartless. She's a dingbat, and she's very self-centered, but she's not a monster. Um, and I know a lot of people don't like Nina. I don't like Nina, but I do want to sit there and point that out. Um, Dex and Joss did absolutely nothing, except for bring the kids to to the hospital. That was pretty much about it. They was talking about cooking and stuff, so I was like, okay. And then they went to the Quartermaines, and Tracy was doing her usual comedy routine. And then afterwards, they went to the hospital, and Dex was like, "Wow, you got some crazy family going on. This extended family you got going on." And it's very true. But it's really crazy though. As extended as their family is, it's not tangled. I feel like I will give GH credit over Days for this. It's not so tangled up where it's like everyone feels like they're related to everyone else. Um, I mean, to some extent, you got Sam, and technically she is a Cassadine. Actually, technically, she is just as a Cassadine. I feel like there's more leeway. It's not as tangled up as Days. That's the one thing. As much as I love Days of Our Lives, I feel like at some point you're gonna be practically kissing cousins or something, like, which is. And that's something else I want to sit there and talk about. There's something that's just off about this whole rushing to judgment. With Olivia and Brooklyn, not even saying giving him the benefit of the doubt, or at the very least being like, well, why would he sit there and do that at the wedding? Why would he sit there and do that to Michael? And what's going on with Willow? Why would he do that? You know? And I feel like it's literally because they want to have the usual family argument. Because honestly, tell you the truth, I felt like maybe the music tone and just like they're going at it didn't. It seemed like it was serious, but it was more like argumentative, you know. And I felt like it was because they want to have more family squabble than anything else. And even Drew coming in there punching Ned just seemed like it was kind of an overreach to some extent. Drew is usually very calm, cool, and collective, right? And then that's not just saying that stress can't play a factor. Um, all the crap he has to sit there and deal with the whole getting Liesel back and everything like that. But I just can't see him just walking in there and just clocking Ned. I can't see that. Um, so it's a lot of stuff that just seems kind of out of character when you really start to think about it. Hmm. Let's see. Let me make sure that I actually did, because yesterday I could have swore I missed something. And I felt like it was in GH, and I couldn't remember what it was. And I know it probably wasn't really that serious, but I couldn't remember what it was, though. And you know what? To some extent, I mean, even Joss being this hell bent on taking Sonny down, knowing that Sonny is a complicated man, knowing that Sonny helped Drew, helped Carly out when he didn't have to. And yet she still seems to talk about, well, Sonny's still not my favorite person. I'm like, this is so. This is why I get to a point where it's like I feel like it's done more for plot than anything else because it's just so stupid at this point. I don't know. I feel like that's about it. This episode could have been better what it was. It wasn't absolutely terrible. So there was like certain people. It's like Dante and Sam really like they could just not been there and it still would have been an episode. Same thing with Dex and Joss. Oh, we're gonna sit there and cook. Oh, Josh, she can't cook. Oh, just like Carly. Let the laughs ensue. It's just like, okay, sure. Carly Jr. and Dex and Jason 2.0. That's literally what we're looking at this point. Anyway, I can't really think of anything else. So if I miss anything, I'm gonna be sent to Talk Mine a live stream tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Pacific. Come through. It's a lot of fun. We're gonna be sitting there going over all of it, all the shows. GH Days, YNR, and B&B. I think I said that. Anyway, with that being said, I'm going to go. Thank you for watching. Stay safe, and I will see you in the next video.